And good afternoon. My name is Doris Davenport. I am a correspondent for Black Muse podcast. Black Muse is a video podcast series exploring the rich genealogy of Black culture. It's where creatives from the worlds of jazz, hip hop, gospel, politics, sports, fashion, theater, and literature engage in the lively art of conversation. And today I am so pleased to welcome to our Black Muse listeners none other than the gorgeous, talented, sultry Liz Mikel. Welcome to Black Muse.
Oh, thank you for having me, Doris. What a pleasure.
Great. You know, you are, look at that beautiful poster behind you, 1776. 1776 is taking Chicago by storm right now. I mean, a lot of people have been wondering, it's kind of hard to explain from just a basic history perspective, how you can turn a musical into the signing, how you can turn the signing of the Declaration of Independence into a musical. Tell us about 1776.
Well, it was originally written and performed in 1969, and it actually won the Tony that year for Best New Musical. It beat out Hair. Yes. And it's been revived before on Broadway. There have been national tours. There's even a movie of it. You can go out on YouTube and look for the movie. But when it was originally done, because it is the signing of the Declaration and the founding of the United States of America, there were all white men and white women portraying all of the characters, you know. In this particular adaptation or reimagining of 1776, just to give your viewers a little insight, I play Ben Franklin. And so I'm not your average Ben Franklin that you would think of when you think of the signing of the Declaration, Ben Franklin and all of the names that we're familiar with that were connected with that signing. John Hancock, and I did play that character on Broadway and when we first started it, and then I graduated to Ben Franklin.
My goodness. Well, I have to tell you, everybody listening and watching this, I have seen the show and it is phenomenal. I don't care what your expectation is. I promise you that when you walk out of that theater, you are going to be telling everybody about it. And because it just exceeds every expectation I possibly had. Let me ask you, I know that this show was going to come about during the pandemic. And the pandemic, it just put a wrinkle in everything. Mm-hmm. Tell us about the origin at Roundabout and even prior to that. How did 1776 conceptualize?
Well, I came on board initially in 2019. There was a week-long workshop in New York, and Diane Paulus was at the helm, the artistic director of American Repertory Theater on the Harvard campus there at Cambridge, Massachusetts. And she had been approached and asked about directing 1776 and to doing it with, and she didn't just always lean in, I don't know, but I don't think she immediately leaned into female non-binary trans bodies. Maybe she did, but I know that she wanted a spectrum of people that would not have been in the room when the signing happened. to make it reflect America today. So when I first entered into that rehearsal room, there were all female, non-binary, trans actors portraying these roles. And I can't tell you how exciting that was to be sitting in that room, and the electricity, it was palpable. It was just electric in that room. And she cast it and decided to do it. You know, we were initially supposed to do the sit down in America at American Repertory Theater in April, May 2020. And then we were going to go on the national tour, which we're on right now. And then it was going to culminate on Broadway at the Roundabout Theater. Well, enter COVID. And we all know how that.
The great disruptor.
But what was wonderful, if you can call it that, about the whole COVID experience, when we were waylaid that way with the virus, Diane and the powers that be got the approval for us to do a Zoom workshop for 2 weeks. So they still paid us, they paid the actors, and we sat in our respective homes in all parts of the country and zoomed in and connected with each other and connected with the text and the story and Diane's vision for the show. And at that point, Jeffrey L. Page was our choreographer, and he stepped up to the helm to co-direct with Diane.
Wow.
Yes, because we are, people from various backgrounds, and to make sure that, it was an equal balance of the story being told from all perspectives.
Now, Lin-Manuel with Hamilton, he has been quoted as saying that 1776, the musical, is the inspiration for Hamilton. And I have read and seen many things that depict 1776 as the most accurate of the two historically. Talk to me about what it's like to be compared to the mega hit Hamilton and to be on this stage as a Black person.
Well, I'm so grateful that anybody would even mention us in the same sentence with Hamilton. First of all, I got the opportunity to see that, and I have friends that have been in that production on Broadway and touring through here, and that was here in Chicago as well. It's an honor to even be in the same sentence with Hamilton. I think the importance of both pieces is the fact that the bodies that the audience sees on stage reflects the bodies that are in the audience. And when you can see yourself on stage, or someone that looks like you or represents your background, it lands and lands on you differently. The dialogue lands on you differently. You hear it differently. And it just also reflects that we were a part of the building of this country from the very beginning. All of these beautiful people from different backgrounds and genders, and we were here. And so that's what's exciting to me, to be a part of the history of this country and not be forgotten, like we were in the room when they said all men are created equal.
Exactly. And I think that's something that people do walk away from. Whoever you are in the audience, you're going to see yourself on that stage. And if you're a white male and you feel that you don't see yourself on stage, well, you've been represented all of history.
Yeah, well, it just, I don't want to say get over it, but
but get over it.
Get over it.
Let's dig into your craft a little bit. How much fun do you have every night with your peers putting this production on? Because it sure looks like you all are having a good time.
Doris, we're having the times of our lives. I mean, I am. I've been around the block a few times, and I've been doing this thing longer than some of the people I'm sharing the stage with, but they're extraordinarily talented, and they bring their hearts and souls every night to telling this story. And the talent is just extraordinary.
Oh
So
my
you stand
goodness.
in awe of everybody that you're on stage with, when you stand in the wings when you're not on stage, and you look at people and feel what they're doing. It's a love fest up there, I can tell you.
What's the most, I don't know, maybe emotional moment of the show for you? Do you ever find yourself in the
Oh,
wings,
I'm not gonna
tearing
start
up?
now. You know, you'll start me crying with this question because you've seen the show.
Yeah.
I am a mother and a grandmother, and say I'm starting to get the little wavery voice
Mhm.
already. There is a moment in the show where the courier, who's played by the
Mm.
magnificent Brooke Simpson,
Yes, Native
if nothing
American.
else, y'all come see the show to hear Brooke Simpson sing. It's like nothing else.
Representation.
And
She's
and
full
and
blooded.
Brooke is an indigenous
Yes.
person. She's a Native American from, I don't want to mess it up, Alawasaponi tribe, I believe.
Yeah.
And she does our land acknowledgments every night before we start, because we know that that's part of this country, the fabric of this country.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me started about how it was taken away, and then people were imported to build it.
Mhm.
I could go on. But there's a moment in the show where her character, the courier, reflects on what's happening on the battlefield,
Mm.
with the English coming in to try to, gain their order and make people, pay taxes and keep the reign of English over this land. And just everyday ordinary people took up the cause and took up guns and arms, and they said it was the United States. I will quote a line from Our Town, where I played the stage manager, which is another traditionally white older male role.
Mhm.
He said they believed in it and they went and died about it.
Mm.
And the United States of America. And Brooke's character, the courier, sings from the perspective of the soldier that saw that battle. And I play during that song. All of the cast is on stage, but more so my part in that is that I play the mother who's looking for her son
Yeah.
on the battlefield, who's been ravaged and torn by bullets.
Mm.
And it breaks my heart every night when I
Yeah.
think of the mothers that lose children to drive-by
Mhm.
shootings, to the hands of the police, to
Mhm.
just horrible incidents in our community, um, and in war and all of these atrocious things.
Yes.
But from the heart of a mother, it touches me every single performance.
Wow, wow. That song, Mama Look Sharp, it is absolutely beautiful. And, still staying with your craft a little bit, not every actor gets the opportunity to play dual roles. And, it's already unique to have an entire production that's female facing, be it female, transgender, non binary. I mean, this cast is just beautifully representative of today's culture. Well, really of historical culture.
Here.
Right, right. Because it's not as if these people just showed up in
They've been
modern
here
day.
all along.
Yeah.
Just have not been able to be represented in this light. And you're very correct.
Yeah. Now, I happen to know that you are also an accomplished jazz singer. What does it mean to you to be able to share that part of your talent and gifting with this production?
It is a gift for me. It is a gift
Mhm.
for me to be able to share that. When I was cast as John Hancock sang in the group numbers, and I did portray the mama in Mama Look Sharp in the group numbers. But being cast as Ben Franklin, I do get the opportunity to kind of be out front and really sing the songs and add my flavor to the mix. And I'm so happy about that. I was like, well, it's what I do, and now I get to do it. So unfortunately, the beautiful lady that that originated the role for us regionally and on Broadway, she elected not to come on the tour. And that has been a gift to me because when I found out, I just knew she was going all along. And I came into work one day at the roundabout, and one of my cast members ran in and said, "Patrina's not going. You need to be Ben Franklin." And I was like, "What?" And then I started thinking about it. Why not? I want to sing and dance and lend my heart to this piece, and here we go.
Amazing when somebody plants that kind of a seed, something you hadn't necessarily thought about.
No, well, I was understudying Ben, and I was pretty nervous because I've never understudied anybody before. You know, when they set a character in motion and all of the things and flavors that they bring to it, you want to make the character yourself, but you want to honor what they have done because it's, you know, it's a cog in a wheel. You
That's
know,
right.
everybody has their own part to play. So you don't want to deviate too far from what they have set. So she had big shoes to fill, even though she's much shorter and smaller than I am. I'm 6'1", but so to speak, she had big. I had to step into her shoes, and I'm grateful that our directors, our choreographer with Jeffrey L. Page, who co-directed and choreographed, along with our wonderful music director, and everybody just rallied around me stepping into those shoes.
That's awesome.
It's been amazing. I'm so grateful that I get to do that.
When I think about you saying stepping into those shoes, Jeffrey L. Page, choreographer and co-director, has a number in there, and I'm a former jazz dancer.
Come on, you know I was a ballerina first. Ballet, modern, and jazz. I majored in it in college.
Let's see. Yes. See, and T-neck Terps.
My big body was in motion, honey.
There's a dance number that is in the beginning of the show, and it is absolutely one of my favorites because I just love the way you guys do it, where you're literally pulling off the shoes of those old white men who you're playing, and you're choreographically stepping in to the shoes.
Stepping into the shoes, pulling up the pants, putting on the waistcoats. We're stepping back in time, and we're taking you with us.
Yes, I just love that. That right there, not only it's so energizing. Now, you know, there's something else that Diane Paulus and Jeffrey Page did in this show that is just so stunning, and that's with the costuming. It's one thing I've represented with press other shows where the costuming was made specifically for the actors, but here they've gone a step further. Tell us about, you know, just how they've allowed you all to own your costumes as you perform.
That's the brilliance of Emilio Sosa. Some of your viewers may know Emilio from what's the Project Runway. He was on Project Runway. I can't remember which season. And Emilio has gone on to do award-winning designs for theater. I was honored to have been had a design by him for another show that I did at American Repertory Theater, but he has hit Broadway. And right now, I don't want to say it's 2 or 3 shows, but I know Hercules is running right now at the Paper Mill. I know that he costumed that, and several others. Ain't No Mo, I think, was another one that he did on Broadway. So we were running simultaneously. Ain't No Mo. But Emilio and Diane and Jeffrey and Mia Neal, who did the wig and hair design, Academy Award-winning Mia Neal, I might say. She won the Academy Award for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. They all got together and they wanted us to have the essence of ourselves to speak through these, you know, under these waistcoats. We were putting the waistcoats on, but who we are is very important, and what we can bring to it, ourselves. Like I said, my big 6'1" self gets to put on that jacket, but I have to remain Liz. You know, I tell the truth, and I tell everything that I can through the text, because we're all human at the end of the day. but I can't be anything else but this 6
Right.
months. So they wanted to make sure that we felt empowered. So if you see the beautiful, gorgeous woman that plays John Hancock now, Onika Phillips, she
Yes.
has a mohawk. It is just stark, but it is strikingly, I mean, just striking. And that is
Yeah.
her signature. That's Onika.
That's who she is, Onika,
That's who
yes.
she is. Yes,
Mhm.
yes. You see beautiful locks on the stage, or shaven
Mhm.
heads, and that's part of who we are. The jewelry. I adorn myself.
Yeah.
I had to scale back as men, because as John Hancock, they let me get away with the biggest hoops I could get away with, long lash, but I had to kind of bring it down. But the costuming, and that was very, very strategic in
Mhm.
making sure that the essence of who we were was able to shine through those
Yes, and I
beautiful.
know that Brooke Simpson has a piece of turquoise jewelry that's been in
And
her
that's
family for
hers.
over 30 years,
Yes,
her tribe. Yeah, that
yes,
she's incorporated.
yeah.
That is just phenomenal. It is phenomenal. Now, where does 1776 go next?
We will go to Des Moines, Iowa,
Uh-huh.
and we'll be a week there next week, and then we'll be in Denver for 2 weeks after that.
Mhm.
We'll take a just short little break for about a week, and then we're in LA for a month. We'll be in
Mhm.
California for about 6 weeks.
Oh,
Then
that is
back,
fantastic.
we head back east. We'll be performing across the nation through the beginning of August.
Okay, well, that's great. And you're playing here. Tell us about the run here in Chicago. Where you performing?
We are at the CIBC Theater on Monroe, and we will be there through this Sunday. We have 2 shows today, a show tomorrow, Friday, 2 Saturday, and we end with a matinee on Sunday. And I don't know if your viewers know, but there is a $25 lottery that happens every morning between 9 and 5. You can get $25 tickets.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Come and see us.
that is absolutely awesome. I tell you, this is the musical 1776, and it is based on, of course, the events that are leading up to the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And I just have to tell you, what you all do on that stage, I'm just so proud. I'm so proud when I see you all. I'm just telling everybody I can about it, because 1776, the musical, is a must-see, recommended, 5 stars. Yes.
Thank you, Doris. We couldn't think of a higher recommendation than coming from you, because I know you've seen a lot of theater and you support the arts. So thank you so much.
This is true. Liz Mikel, who plays Ben Franklin in 1776, the musical. Thank you so much for joining Black Muse, where creatives from the worlds of jazz, hip hop, gospel, politics, sports, fashion, theater, and literature engage in the lively art of conversation.
My
Thank you
pleasure.
so
Thank you
much.
for having me.